ShartimusPrime, reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shits, Subscribe for more things. But anyway, I like the feet. Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends review on the Toys R Us exclusive Avengers 3 pack. I gotta give a big thanks to Mr. Phils for making sure I got a hold of this set. I actually have had this for quite some time now. I'm excited to finally review it. I've just had these guys laying around on the review station for a while, and I've had a chance to play with them, but there's the packaging right over there. It has a TRU sticker. Then on the back, you can see all three figures. There's a read-up. If you want to read it, pause it now. If you want to see detailed images of the packaging and the figures, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. Now, this set is a little disappointing, mostly just because the Falcon doesn't have any wings. That bummed me out right away. Other than that, I do like the Falcon figure, and I actually really like these all-new, all-different Avengers figures that we're getting, and the team. I mean, it's kind of a weird team, right? We get a creepier Vision, we get a meaner Sam Wilson. Kate Bishop is pretty awesome. I don't know if she's actually technically part of the all-new, all-different Avengers, though. I think she was, and then now she's not. But anyway, let's take a closer look at these. I'm a gentleman, so I'll let the lady go first. And this Hawkeye is not part of the all-new, all-different Avengers. Actually, there is no Hawkeye in the all-new, all-different Avengers. But I think she should be, right? Shouldn't she be? Why not, right? I don't know. But we're going to get a new Wasp for the all-new, all-different Avengers, which I think is a really cool team. I'm really liking what I'm reading so far. I like the hair sculpt on this figure. Very nice, straight jet black hair. Looks really good. You can see this is just flipped up a little bit from me posing her around and tilting her head off to the side. I like the gold paint that we're getting right there. I like the flesh tone. There are some parts where you can see it does get a little sloppy. You can see like the kind of chipped right here. It's actually flesh tone painted on top of the purple plastic. I wish they'd given some kind of black line to outline this. I just think it looks a little bit weird just having the flesh just popped right on there, you know? But looking at the face, I think she looks pretty. I like that pink color for her lipstick. A little tiny bit of paint missing on the sunglasses, but that's just very minor. For the most part, I think it looks pretty good. And the hairband looks pretty nice and everything. And there's no shadowing effect on this figure. Pretty limited as far as paint goes, but I think it looks pretty good. And I think this is the first time we see this female body sculpt. This is not the first time we've seen this bow. We've seen this bow many times before, and it is inaccurate to the Hawkeye bow that he gives her, you know? So that was a wooden bow. I wish they'd gone with a little bit different bow, but oh well. And then looking at the hand right over here, the fingers coming out, not looking too bad. And of course, this is all just painted on right there. Again, I do like the flesh tone a lot, though. And it's a very nice body mold, too. Again, I wish we'd gotten some black around here. It does look a little bit weird just having that flesh tone just splat, just put right there on the hips. And wow, speaking of hips, damn, Kate Bishop. I never really looked at you that way before, but wow, geez, wow, what's happening to you? But anyway, looking right here, we get this new added piece, this strap that goes around her waist to hold her quiver, which I think is nice. And if you wanted to add some arrows, you can put them in there. Unfortunately, she does not come with her own arrows. So, yeah, it's kind of a thing that we've been seeing with Hasbro. Here's looking at the legs, looking very nice. And then she has her really cool boots right over there, nice wrinkles and everything. And the peg holes right there at the bottom of her feet. As far as her articulation goes, you can't really tilt her head up too much because the hair is so stiff, so I wish they would do something about that. Hasbro has talked about using a softer plastic in the future. Hopefully they, you know, just weren't running their chops. Hopefully they're actually trying. Right here you can see the head bends down very far, and then you get side-to-side movement at the head, but there is kind of a weird angle to it as you turn that side to side. No real head pivot over here. Shoulders move outward, you can move them forward, and you get no bicep swivel. You get the single jointed elbows. She has rotation at the elbows, and then she has wrists that swivel side to side and they hinge up and down. She has a diaphragm joint. She crunches forward, she crunches back. She does have diaphragm pivot. Hips move outward that far. She can't kick forward that much. Move back only the tiniest bit, not much at all. She has an upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. Then her ankles move down, up, and she has ankle pivot. You ever have a job where the manager was kind of a jerk, but the assistant manager was really cool, and then one day the manager finally left, and then the assistant manager became manager, and then he became a jerk? That's kind of what happened with Sam Wilson, and that kind of bums me out, because I always liked Sam, but then now, as Captain America, he's such a jerk, man. Well, what happened to you, Sam? You used to be cool, but now you're just kind of like a mean dude, which is actually kind kind of neat, you know. I like the character building, writing stuff, you know what I mean? Why the hell not? But anyway, onto this figure. I think it looks pretty nice. I like this head sculpt. I think it looks a little bit different compared to some of the other head sculpts that we've seen, so it doesn't look like that, you know, that generic head sculpt in cosplay as I had mentioned over at San Diego Comic-Con. But right here on the side, you can see a little bit of paint splotching. You get some white on the ears, some brown on the glasses right there. Then the hair doesn't look too perfect either. You can see some black running off right there, and then there's some brown around the edge right there. So I'm only really noticing this stuff right now as I look at it very closely. As you look at it from farther away, those little imperfections don't nearly stand out as much. So it's not too bad on this side right here, but just a tiny bit of smudging throughout, you know. And I think this looks really good. I like how the hair is sculpted right here and everything. Then looking at the torso, I like that we get in all these new sculpted lines and stuff. Get this part for his wings that we don't get, which oh god, that really bums me out. You know, you're gonna have other flying characters in the future. You might as well make some wings for Sam. Why not, man? Come on. But anyway, we get some sculpted lines right over here on the side. I think this is all new stuff right here. I'm not 100% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, these arms do look a little on the familiar side. I really like all the little details in here. The torso looks really new. Again, liking all the little wrinkles and stuff like that. Some paint missing over the blue, unfortunately. We get a fist on this side, which is good. I like that. The belt looks really nice. I think that's awesome. No shadowing effect or anything on any of this, but the paint looks very solid, I think. Or for the most part, it looks pretty solid. Then looking at the legs right over here, not looking too bad. You can see on this side we get some nice bright silver for the kneecaps. Now we get this weird thing going on with his right leg. This looks like just like a, you know, a factory problem or something like that, but I have this weird gap right there. So there's a huge dent in the plastic because on this side it's pretty flush. So that kind of sucks. You know, it feels like I could just pop this whole thing off. Let's see. Will I do it? Nah. Alright, let's get that right back on there. Okay, just like how it was before. But anyway, looking pretty nice. And on this side, you know, this is how it should have looked. So anyway, we get some peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Some nice treads right over there. Then he does have his shield, of course. We've seen this shield released many times with many different Captain America figures. Not looking too shabby at all. Of course, you can clip it onto the wrist, as you can see right there. Or you just flip it like that, and you can port it onto his back. Now for Falcon's articulation, you can move his head all the way up, which is great. So if you do find some wings for him, you can get him into those flying poses. You can move his head all the way downward. He has side-to-side movement. Shoulders move outward, and they move down that much. They move forward. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and he can rotate at the wrist, move up and down. He has a nice ab crunch right here, and it moves back. Waist swivel. Hips can move outward that much. He can kick forward that much and back a little bit. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees. Boot rotation, ankles move down, up, and he has ankle pivot. It's hard for me to pinpoint exactly why I love this design for Vision so much. When I first saw this on the comic book stands, I was just like, oh my goodness, that looks sick. I think it's because it resembles the movie version just a little bit with these angles and these little patterns that we get over here. I just think it looks awesome. I really like it a lot. And because I already love the design, it just makes me love this figure the most out of the three of them. Looking at the head sculpt, I think it looks really good. And I love how we have his solar gem right over there, looking really nice. Then we get some nice sculpted lines right over here in the face as well. I think that looks really good. Same thing with this line sculpted along right over here at the top. So a lot of lines sculpted at the top. We get some marbleization right there, which I don't particularly like on this figure because I feel like it interrupts the flow of the lines intentionally sculpted there. So yeah, that marbleization does bother me some, but I do like seeing that little bit of glitteriness in the plastic. Oh yeah, glitteriness. Is that a made-up word? Pretty sure it is. I like the black eyeliner that he has, or mascara, or whatever they gave him. I think that looks pretty awesome. And looking right here at the chest, this is the Bucky cap mold reused all over again, which would make me normally dislike the figure a little bit more just because we've seen this used a lot, but I still love the Bucky cap mold, and I really like this design, so it doesn't make me hate it at all. Actually, it makes me really like it. So looking at the torso right over here, we get a lot of red over the dark green, and it actually looks pretty good. It looks like they've used at least a couple of coats. You know, you can see tiny little parts where the red didn't go all the way through, like right there maybe. But I mean, I think that's very minuscule. And look at this. This looks pretty good. A little fuzzy right there, but I still really like it. I love how the hands came out over here. I think that looks pretty awesome. I love the different colors of green that we're getting here. I guess that's another reason why I really like it, you know. Yeah, all that green, man. But yeah, right over here, it looks pretty clean. You can see some of the paint chipped off, so this is supposed to be the darker green on the top, but they use that light green hinge. Inside of the hands are just that lime green color. And here, looking at the legs, I think the legs look really cool. I just think this design is awesome, man. I just really like it a lot. I just think it's a very good look. Looking at the boots right over there, I think that looks really good too. So yeah, I'm liking the lines. Of course, they don't have that lime green going all the way through on the hinge. That would have been nice. That may have chipped off though if they ended up putting it there. Then looking at the very back, looks pretty good. And if you remove the cape, you can see that they did continue with the red paint on the back over here. So I think that's pretty nice. I'm glad that they did that. I like this little trim right over here on this little collar piece. I think that looks really nice too. And one thing I forgot to mention was that this right leg is misaligned. That really bothers me a lot. You can see that it's just a little bit to this side and it should be centered. So yeah, who's ever in charge of the right legs over at Hasbro, they screwed up that day that they made these figures. But anyway, I'm going to show off the articulation for this Bucky Cap molded figure just because he has the cape attached over here. So I want to see how much this cape actually hinders the articulation. And you can see that it does not hinder it while he tries to look upward. So you can't look up that much. He looks down. You can move his head side to side, so there's no head limitations over there. Shoulders move outward that much. That's really good. So you can move them all the way upward, and then you can move them down, and you can see there was paint on that hinge right there, but it did come off. And same thing with that side right over there. So I just wanted to mention that. Anyway, you can't move the arms forward, bicep rotation, double jointed elbows, wrist move side to side. They hinge up and down. He has an ab crunch forward that much. He cannot crunch backwards more than that. So yeah, that's as far back as he could crunch while having the cape on. He does have the waist swivel. Hips move outward that much. He can kick forward. He cannot kick back, of course. He has the upper thigh cut right over here. Then he has the double jointed knees. Then he has the brute rotation. Oop, there goes the cape. And the ankles move down, up, and he does have ankle pivot. And then here's all three figures at their widest stance possible with both feet still flat on the floor. Now to measure out these three figures, you can see the Vision is standing the tallest, just under 7 inches tall. And then we have Falcon, and then the shortest is the Kate Bishop, just over 6 inches tall. Then here's the three figures compared to another all new, all different Avenger. We have the Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales right over there. And I'm excited that Hasbro's making a new Nova and Ms. Marvel for this team. We'll also need Iron Man and the Lady Thor to complete it. And then to compare these figures to a couple other Marvel Legends, we have the Red Onslaught Wave Captain America and the Spider-Man over here. Then here's our new Vision and new Captain America compared to the Marvel Now Captain America and the Target exclusive 3-pack Vision right over here. I don't know if you could tell from all the way over there, but this is a brand new head sculpt that we're getting for the Vision. So they did not reuse this head sculpt, which was used on the previous Vision as well. They did reuse the legs from this Marvel Now Captain America, as well as the arms from the bicep down. But the torso, the shoulders, the belt, and the head, those are all brand new. And then here's all three figures next to the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. So this set would have really, truly been awesome if we had gotten some wings for Falcon and some arrows for our Hawkeye, right? I mean, it's just kind of weird not to have wings for the Captain America Falcon, especially because he's had them the whole time. I mean, yeah, they collapse in, but this isn't a thing where it's like, oh, he once had the wings and then now he doesn't have the wings. No, he still has the wings right now in the comics. So I really wish Hasbro had made that extra step to give us the wings and give us some arrows. Like, we should get arrows accessories for our Hawkeye figures at some point in the future. That's really why the Vision is my favorite out of the three. So even with all the gripes, I'm still happy to have these. I really do want to complete my all new, all different Avengers. And I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, please hit the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you want to stick around, there'll be some boxes popping up for my past videos. And if you have not hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit the subscribe circle. That will be showing up momentarily. If you want to see a photo gallery of images, it's all over at marvelousnews.com. And you can follow me on the Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links all in the description below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures every day. I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, I'm posing action figures, it's okay.
That's crispy.
Exclusive Marvel Legends, all new, all... Oh.